What's up, all my movie-loving maniacs? This is your boy Bangful B of the Lassiter Factor, and welcome back to the Lassiter Factor Halloween movie review special. And today we are going to talk about Smile 2, which is the sequel to one of many surprise hits from 2022, Smile. But its sequel, Smile 2, which I'll admit I was actually excited to go see, was released in theaters over the weekend, so let's review. Now, just to give you a brief recap, and of course, I did go back and rewatch the first Smile, which I did a little video on, check it out. But the first movie was about this demonic parasite that latches from person to person. It feeds off of past trauma and or mental illness. The person who has it begins to hallucinate, and once this entity is finished torturing you via hallucination, it possesses you, makes you make that creepy ass smile, and eventually makes you unalive yourself. But it makes you do it in front of someone, and the person that witnessed you unaliving yourself, that's who the entity latches itself onto, and that's how it gets passed on, and the cycle continues. And in this movie, it latches onto a famous pop singer who is dealing with some trauma herself and is also coming off of a hiatus from her music career. Now, I remember when I saw the first film back in 2022, it was one of those surprises that came out in 2022 along with Barbarian. But then I come to find out that there are some people out there that thought it wasn't as good as everyone made it out to be. And even after rewatching it to prep for this movie, I still don't understand why some people didn't like it. But hey, to each his own. But I was excited for this one, not only because I enjoyed the first movie, but because I was just interested in watching, Princess Jasmine lose her fucking mind. Now, how do I feel about this movie? I actually thought it was better than the first one, and I still like the first one, but here is like the director of the movie, Parker Finn, who made the first film, was given a bigger budget with this, and it definitely shows. Now, I saw this movie at an AMC theater, and before the movie played, they had a little clip of Naomi Scott talking to the audience saying thank y'all for coming out and supporting this film, and she was also expressing how much she appreciates the fans for, keeping that first movie alive and showing out for this one. You can tell Parker Finn and company, they really put love into this and are very appreciative of the fans and for making Smile the phenomenon that it is. But like I said, it definitely feels like he got a bigger budget from the style filmmaking that he does in this movie. It feels like this movie, it definitely has mixed tones, because the first 5 or 10 minutes of this film is like watching a crime thriller, but then it transitions into a horror movie, and even through all the shots, there's a lot of upside down shots, the camera work. Parker Finn really put his foot on this one. But to me, the real star of this movie is, of course, Naomi Scott, and I mentioned earlier that she played Princess Jasmine in the live-action Aladdin movie from 2019. She was also the Pink Power Ranger in the Power Rangers movie from 2017. She was also in that Charlie's Angels reboot that came out the same year as Aladdin, but, we just gonna leave that in the past. But here, Smile 2 as Sky Riley, to me, this is her best performance right here, because she had to do a lot of things. Because, of course, she's a talented singer and musician, so she did a lot of the choreography, which I was very impressed by. She did the singing, she did record the album's soundtrack, but above all, she had to perfectly illustrate a pop star that is just progressively losing her fucking mind, and everyone is just not believing her or helping her. She feels like she is losing herself and losing all sense of reality, and I felt Naomi Scott, she did that excellently in this film right here. She definitely put this film on her back. Because like I said, this is a parasite that feeds on trauma and mental illness, and what's more traumatic and has mental illness than a pop star? Because not only you get those two things, but you also get survivor's guilt, addiction. Some other cast members include Ray Nicholson, who is the son of Jack Nicholson, which I didn't know. Rosemary DeWitt plays her mother. Miles Torres Riley, forgive me if I mispronounced the middle name, I'm sorry. But anyways, he plays Joshua, and he's the assistant of Sky. But I just watched him in the newest episode of Agatha. But he had some of the funniest moments in this film. Dylan Galula plays Gemma, her best friend in the movie. And I do like the bond between those two characters in this film. There is one returning character from the first film. I'm not going to spoil who it is, but he does appear in that first 10 minutes of the movie. And it's also the glue that connects both the first film and the second film. I felt all the horror and scary aspects of the movie did work. With this being a bigger budget, you can tell Parker Finn was able to play around with the different hallucinations that Sky is having. And yes, just like the first movie, this movie does have some jump scares, and they're either going to make or break you with this movie. But I do feel like the jump scares in this movie are a little bit better. Honestly, I think my biggest gripe with this movie is just the pacing, because this movie does clock in at 2 hours and 10 minutes, and when I saw that, I was like, really? I mean, that's a bit much for a movie like this, but hey, let's see. And then by the end of it, I was like, this movie really didn't need to be as long as it needed to be, but at the same time, it would be hard to cut out certain aspects of this movie. But I just feel like this movie really could have been condensed to under 2 hours. That's all. I also want to know how much did they have to pay Voss Water, because without spoiling anything, let's just say Voss Water has a huge presence in this film. In the end, I really dug this sequel. I like it more than the first film, but I still like the first film. Some people say you need to rewatch the first film before you watch this, and honestly, I don't think you necessarily need to. I mean, it helps, but honestly, both films can stand on their own. And the way the movie ends, I am excited for Smile 3, if there is going to be a Smile 3. But this is what a sequel should do. It should also improve on the first film, both story-wise and production-wise. This movie is definitely worth watching just for Naomi Scott's performance alone. I'm gonna give Smile 2 the heart eyes emoji, but a very mid heart eyes emoji. Because like I said, the pacing did drag the movie down just a little bit, but not too much. Thank y'all so much for watching, and if you like this video, give it a like, share, and if you've seen Smile 2, let me know what you think in the comments section below. This is your boy Bankful B of the Lassiter Factor. Stay safe, wash your hands, peace.